Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This feels really weird. It feels like Vlogmas and doing vlogs and stuff all over again, being sat in my kitchen filming. I wanted to do a general life goal planner update video. I don't really know for what reason, other than I felt like it. And Stuart is still working, so I'm filming it in the kitchen so that I don't disturb him. But I wanted to get it done because I don't think I'm gonna have time this weekend, and then it will be the week again and when will I have time? I haven't filmed much in a while. I filmed a haul, which I'm filming this on Friday. I just put the video live, so that has gone up, but I don't know when I will edit and get this one on YouTube, so I guess that will depend. But I haven't filmed that much lately, and I thought I would just like touch on some stuff and let you guys know what's going on, and maybe some people will find this useful or interesting. I don't really know, but I'm gonna film it anyway. So I guess I'll start with the life update stuff. I feel like this is maybe misleading. I've just realized that it sounds like there might actually be a life update. I mean, there isn't, like it's lockdown. But I guess it's kind of combined with my goals update, but I really just wanted to check in and see how you guys are because I'm struggling, and I know a lot of people who are feeling the same. So here in the UK, in case anyone is watching who's not here, we are in the third lockdown. Is this still the third? I don't really know. But this one has gone on forever, and I find it harder now than I ever did before. I think it's the nature of the fact that we have nearly been working home for a year. We are just under a month under that for me. And if things, we're still a way off things going back to normal. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely believe that we should still be in lockdown, and the British public are not ready, in my opinion, for lockdown to just be lifted. Like, there's too much risk to people, and having lost someone to COVID and knowing people who have had it and stuff, don't get me wrong, I believe this is where we should be. But the general toll that it takes on you, I think this is really just to say to everyone, I do hope you're okay and doing what you can. I think the biggest thing that I have learned during this time is that I really, really don't have to be productive every day. And this maybe moves on to the goals bit, but as you guys know, when I was doing Vlogmas, I was doing a lot of videos about goal planning. I was really excited to get my Moxie life. I was like feeling so ready for 2021 to be this entirely fresh start. And I knew that it wasn't going to be a new start because things weren't going to change. I thought my mindset was changing. And for like 2 weeks, my mindset changed. And then it just has dipped again. And I'm the least productive I've ever been outside of work. Work is different, but yeah, my evenings are not hugely productive, and I bought a Switch and I just play a lot of Animal Crossing, though that has been good for me, I think. But even now I feel like I'm reaching a time where like you have to kind of check in with Animal Crossing every day, and I don't want to now necessarily check in every day like that. I'm so crap at committing to stuff right now, so I will try and persevere, but yeah, it's difficult, but I have got a lot better at letting myself off and kind of saying like, it's okay if you are not hugely productive. It's okay if you just watch TV. And the priority right now is to exist. And it's just taken me so long to be able to accept that. I'm just not this person. I'm so busy all the time. Like people call me a robot sometimes because like I get a lot done. And it's been really hard to adapt to that. But anyway, I wanted to share this just because I know a lot of people who feel the same as me, and I think it's really important to talk about this stuff. It's important to check in with people, and I hope that, some of you will hopefully find me saying this useful, and please let yourself off. The other thing is, is be kind. I just feel like the world has forgotten that. Like, I'm really struggling with that aspect the last few days, and I've had to reduce. Well, I have screen time on my phone from like 7 o'clock anyway, on some apps, but I have had to put like a 15-minute limit on Facebook because I cannot read what people have to say anymore. And honestly, I think everyone has forgotten be kind. So please be kind to yourself and to other people. But yeah, so following on from this in this kind of goal update, and this is again another reason why I wanted to make this video, because I have been feeling a bit, I guess, annoyed at myself for, like, I didn't even want to tick off or cross off any of my January goals. Like, I did do some of them, but I didn't even want to like sit down and set it up. I didn't set up my February goals until like a week ago, and I don't want to use my I don't want to do a weekly check-in. I don't want to set weekly goals because I honestly right now don't feel there's anything. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that my weekly goals can just be little things or just rest. But even that feels arbitrary to me right now. I'm just in such a different place than I was in January, and I'm not entirely sure what to do about it. So that is something that I am having to working through. But for me, what feels like the right thing to do is to not track my goals as much as I'd initially thought. There was definitely a lot of stuff, like I put so many goals into January. I was like, you need to do 30 minutes of BSL every week. This was on top of, I'm in this major apprenticeship for work, which is really time consuming. I submitted though, yesterday I submitted my final assignment. I still have so much work to do on it, but my assignments are done and that is like amazing. I don't know why I thought I could do everything in January. Like, if you had one of those moments, like really don't be afraid to strip it back until February. Like, well, like in February and in future months, like please, I've just dropped it. I'm like, there was no way that I was going to be able to do 30 minutes of BSL and do my apprenticeship and everything else. And one of the things was like, I had to order a new provisional for driving. Why? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not getting ID'd. So like, again, it's just, I'm putting new expectations on myself that actually I don't have to achieve everything. So that has actually been very useful for me, I have to say. And I really stripped down, like my February in my personal category is basically just exist through February. And I think that even without actively tracking my goals, I am actually still making progress. Like I have only eaten a salad every day for weekday lunch for all of 2021. And that doesn't have meat in it. So 2 of my goals are already being hit there. I bought some scales, they're Fitbit branded scales, which I have to say they are rubbish. Like they're smart scales and they cost like £50. And I mean, Anna has to hear me rant about this all the time, but like one day it will say I've lost like 3 stone and then apparently I've put that back on like overnight. I don't think that they're very accurate. But in general, the downward trajectory is down. So that's good. And like that, so that it's not that I'm not doing my goals. And I think that's why I'm feeling kind of okay with being like, actually, I don't need to be tracking these several goals in each category right now because that feels too much. But the general like intentional, my word of the year, my general intentional nature of eat better and that kind of stuff. And like, I've been for a walk 2 or 3 times this week, which I hadn't done in other weeks. So progress is still happening, even if I'm not recording it. So I think for now, I probably am not going to do my weekly actions or my weekly spreads in my Moxie, but I will still try and do my monthly goals because that's the bit that it's just there in the back of my mind. So I think that element of it is good and that bit I will keep doing. I think the flip side of this is that it still means I don't have a planner. And that I have got to try and work out. So everyone who knows me well, like, is gonna laugh because I change planners often and I spent quite a lot of money on my Moxie Life, and to not use it is a bit disappointing. However, I am always of the opinion when I go through these things that I have the funds to be able to do it, and it's better for my mental health if I do it. Like, it is stressing me out to not have my weekly set up in my Moxie Life. I think I wrote some notes for last week. I really stripped it back. I don't even decorate in my Moxie. I just do like pen and mild liner, but I was like, I don't want to do this. I do not want to set this up. I can't sit here and do this. I don't want to plan what goals I'm going to do on which day of the week. But the writing it down of the process was still useful. For example, I had to send someone a birthday card, which I sent a week late, but I did still do it. But having it attributed to a day, I was like, why am I going to do this today? So that weekly, I guess that's what I'm saying. The weekly element of it is the bit that is not working for me right now. So I have been doing my research and I've watched a lot of videos, which is what I always do. And I think I'm going to start bullet journaling. If you've been around on my channel for a while, you will know that I have kind of tried bullet journaling before. Well, I got a blackout olive and archer, other way around, archer and olive, in June of 2020. And I actually really liked it. Like, I set up a few weeks and it looked beautiful, and I still do cover pages in my blackout journal because it looks incredible, and I spent a lot of money on jelly rolls as well as the planner or the journal. However, blackout journaling is not really practical for me in that you can't just like scribble in it. Like, you have to wait for like ink to dry, and the aesthetic nature of a blackout journal, like, I do think that blackout journals mostly are aesthetic. Like, there probably are people that don't use them aesthetically, but I do think they are an aesthetic journal. And so the blackout one is not going to work for me. I have bought recently I cannot say it, I don't know how you say it, I'm really sorry, but I think by me attempting that, you know which journal I mean. So I bought one of those, and it's just a black one. I got it from Amazon, and it's A4 plus, and I thought what I needed was a really big space to write, and this is incredibly large. Like, it takes up half my desk. It like hangs off because there's no room. And I like writing notes in here. I haven't written a lot, but like, I wrote a to-do list for my apprenticeship stuff when I was on a study day last week, and it was really nice to cross stuff off in that. I write a lot of my to-do lists and stuff at work online, like on Outlook or on Asana, but it was quite satisfying. I've not even finished the list because there's so much work to do, but it was satisfying. And I've written some notes from a meeting today, and that's been quite fun, and it's on plain paper. So that element is good, but I have to like move my keyboard out of the way in order to even use this thing. So what I'm thinking is getting another journal, and I'm going to get a dotted one because I thought that plain was better, but I think for a daily journal or whatever, then a dotted would be better. And I'm thinking of getting one that is bigger than A5, because my other problem is that obviously I have an A5 Archer and Olive in the blackout, and I think A5 is too small. So I think I need to go for something bigger. So I think I've been researching some options, and like a big shout out to Anna, who has to listen to me go on about this. And I'm between a few, but I think I'm going to go for a B5, because I think the sort of in-between nature of between an A5 and an A4 is going to be good. And there's a few different brands, and I need to watch some more review videos to make a decision that I think would be good. But I'm looking at potentially the Rhodia, because Anna suggested them. I'd like never heard of them, but she did some research for me about the Rhodia. But they have really great color options. Like, they have one that's like planner face purple. I'm very tempted, but they also have one that's really yellow, and like yellow is just so me. So yeah, I'm intrigued. And they had a really good review in an article I read, even though the GSM seems really low. It's like 80 or 90, but the pen test that they did was better than the one I can't pronounce. So, because this does have some shadowing. In fact, I promised people I would do this. I promised I would do a pen test, and I've not done one. So let me show you guys the shadowing. So it's not awful, and this is using a Sharpie S Gel, which is the pen people specifically wanted me to pen test. And this is the shadowing. So it's kind of there. So apparently the Rhodia doesn't have ghosting like that. So I'm interested to see what that would be like. It has a soft cover, which might be weird. I don't know if I would like that or not. But yeah, the GSM seems weirdly small. So I don't know, we'll see. But I need to watch some videos, I think. The downside, I think, is that the dots are more obvious, and I'm not sure I want obvious dots. So my other option would be to get another one of these. I found somewhere on Etsy that does the B5 in more colors than just boring black. So ideally, I don't really want a black one. So I will have a look at those, because they had some nice colors, not a yellow though. But they had a kind of berry and a turquoise and stuff. There's also Scribbles That Matter, which have really good reviews, and there's 160 GSM, which is a much better paper quality. And like, people don't necessarily actually recommend this one because of the shadowing. So yeah, the Scribbles that matter though, they only have black or grey, and neither are my bag. I guess I could cover it in stickers, but I'm reluctant to cover anything in stickers in case I don't use it. So I need to have a think. But yeah, Scribbles that matter could be an option. I can get those on Amazon and they would come on Amazon Prime and I could get it like tomorrow. But yeah, anyway, that was like a real diversion. I was not planning for this video to be this long. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And whether I would ever show the bullet journal on social media, I don't know, because like I'm behind in my memory. I'm 5 weeks behind in my memory planner, which is bad. And it's just a struggle. It's the sitting down and doing it. When I'm actually sat there, I'm fine and I can do it. It's the motivation struggle is so hard in lockdown. Like, you know, putting clothes away for me is always a challenge, but like I finally put clothes away yesterday, but I had left it for days and washing up had been left for days and stuff is hard. So I don't know that I would show it because I don't want it to get aesthetic. But I have been looking at some Instagrams where people have just like written notes, and sometimes it's kind of scrawly or sometimes it's just a neat list. So I do have quite neat handwriting, and that's it, and that's all it is. And I actually feel like if more people posted stuff like that, it would help people like me sometimes who go through stuff like this. So I don't know, let me know guys what you think, whether I should share it. It's maybe not going to be anywhere near, well, it's not going to be anywhere near as aesthetically pleasing as my my memory planner, and I would probably have to blur a lot of it because I kind of intend to use it for like a work personal crossover, and I wouldn't promise to share it on any kind of actual schedule. But would you ever be interested in seeing threads? I don't know, let me know. But I don't think I would even do weekly setups in there. I think the idea would probably be to do daily ones, and just when I'm ready to start a new day, write the new day. Maybe do a kind of weekly list of like, these are things that have to get done in the week, but I'm reluctant to have kind of dedicated squares for what I should write in each day, because that's what I don't like about the Moxie right now. So I need to try and not do that in the bullet journal. And there won't be stickers, it will just be my Sharpie S gel and mark liners. Or midliners, I don't know what they're called. So that's my updatey stuff. I also decided that I wanted to do a Q&A. I watched Cindy from Llama Letters Q&A recently and I really loved it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I only recently discovered her, but I absolutely love her channel. I love her stuff. She bullet journals. She's part of the inspiration, though she's a much more decorative bullet journaler than I plan to be. But I absolutely loved that video, and I'm nowhere, well, I say nowhere near as open as Cindy. Like, she has a much bigger following, and so she has more people to be open to. I probably would be that open if I had more stuff in my life to talk about and if people asked me questions, but I decided that I wanted to do a bit of a Q&A. I don't think I really have enough questions for its own video, so I'm just going to tag it on at the end of this one. So if you were only here for the update stuff, totally fine to leave at this point, but otherwise I will do this Q&A. Thank you so much to everyone who asked me a question. I'm going to link to these guys' Instagram accounts down below, so please go and give them a follow. They're lovely. So the first one is from Hetty Stew, which is, what do you do for a job? This is a difficult question for me to answer because I need to keep some sense of anonymity on the internet, and my job is a little bit oddly specific, and so if I went into too much detail about what my job is, so I work in education and I do not work with babies. Like, I don't work with young kids, I work with older people. I do not teach. I work in the kind of space of supporting students with their future progression. That's what I'm going to go with. The majority of my job is doing presentations, and that's on like topics related to careers and stuff like that, and like going to university and all the stuff that comes with that side of things. And I'm also a manager. I was recently regraded, so it's also about managing people, managing projects, and managing strategy. We also work on a lot of cool stuff, like on-demand stuff during lockdown, so that also involves quite a lot of videos. But in the normal time, my job is actually loads of travel. And there was like, some people who have followed me for a while will know this, but like there was once where I filmed a live Instagram video from a Travelodge in Cardiff. Like, that is actually my normal job, and it feels really weird to have had an office job for a year. I hope that it will make me more grateful for my commute and more grateful for events and premierings. The second question is from my absolutely wonderful, amazing friend Alex from Canada Planner Girl, who asks, where do you and Stuart want to end up eventually, travel the world or the UK? This is a great question. I don't know that we've really talked about it in that much depth. I don't think we will travel the world. I would love to go to Florida. That's like, for me, that's the goal. Like, I don't know what I will do in life once I've been to Florida, because it's just like, I really want to go to Disney World. I would love to go to California. But I am probably not someone who's well suited to loads of travel. I am not great with eating loads of different food. And so traveling somewhere which has like Asian food, I don't particularly like. And so traveling to somewhere like that, I would find really challenging. I also, because of my anxiety, I think I would find it challenging. So traveling somewhere where they speak English would be more doable for me. And I don't mean that to sound like I'm not open to other cultures and stuff, because I am. I know what my like personal limitations are. I also don't love flying. I never used to be like this, but I don't really like flying now, and I would fly for Florida and I would fly to go back to New York. I would love to go back to New York. I went 10 years ago this April. I would love to go back to New York. I would love to do a lot of America. But yeah, that's kind of where I would like to go. And I know that Stuart would love to go to Florida too, so that's good. I think that he would be more travelled than me. In terms of like where we might settle, I don't know. Stuart is from a different part of the country to me, and whether that will ever come up as something we have to deal with, I don't know. But you know, our lives are here, and Stuart owns a house here, and my family is here, and the rest of my family are not, which means that I'm kind of the person that my parents rely on to look after them. So I would hope that we would stay here. But you know, you never know. You never know what happens with jobs and stuff like that. It's something that actually worries me and I think about quite a lot. But that's where I'm at right now. Adele has a planner account and I'm going to tag that below. The question is, favorite TV show or books you've read? My favorite TV show is Gilmore Girls, hands down. There is no contest. I also really like The Apprentice UK. I rewatch old episodes a lot, and I really hate that on BBC iPlayer they only have series 12 and they haven't released it on DVD anywhere ever, which means I can't rewatch it anywhere. It's so frustrating. So I've watched series 12 over and over again while working on my apprenticeship the last few weeks. It's annoying. But yeah, Gilmore Girls, hands down. And if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's the best show. It's on Netflix. My favourite book, this is more difficult for me because I don't read a lot. So probably my favourite books are Harry Potter, in terms of the world that they've given me and the amount that they've like contributed to my life and stuff. But I do attribute quite a lot of that to the films as well. But I do have really fond memories of listening to the books on audiobook with my family in the car on holidays. So I really like them for that reason. There's also books like The Northern Lights, which we listen to as a family, and I love the TV show. If you haven't seen it, BBC iPlayer, watch. So again, like that's another series, but it's not on the same level as Harry Potter. I mean, even if we go back to like the Princess Diaries books, they're probably what I read a lot when I was younger. And there was a really good book called The Princess, and I think it was The Princess and the Pauper. I'm tempted to say by Kate Bryan, but I don't know if that's right. But that was a book I really liked when I was younger. That's what's jumping out at me for now. I'm not a great reader, and it was one of my goals to improve on this year. I read one book and I've not read again. Another question from Adele is, favourite planner item you wish you'd found earlier? Whiteout. When you first asked this question, Adele, I wasn't sure what I was going to say. And then when I thought of whiteout, I was like, oh, whiteout. So I had no idea what whiteout was until kind of mid 2020. And when I look back at my planner spreads where I stuck down date covers, but you can see the top of dates and stuff above, I'm just like, kick myself. So whiteout. Then the last question from Adele is favourite planner event. I have only been to UKPA in 2019, so that's my favourite event. I find that event a bit sad now because EC presented at that event and that was so major at the time, and like I sat with my mouth open because like we got given a free planner and I like couldn't even focus for the rest of the event. Like Emma kept being like, God, like I was just like, EC is here, like And so the stuff that's happened with EC and BLM, like I actually found really difficult because of kind of having to like move on from how I had felt about the company in the past. So yeah, but I loved that event. I'm really gutted that it's not going ahead this year, but it's a very understandable decision, and absolutely support Steph and the team for what they've decided. But I'm really excited for when it finally does happen, because will be able to go with more people than just people that I met at the last event. Because I know way more people in the community now. Like, I'm so embedded in the community. I have friends. These are people that I speak to all the time, and I'm really excited for that. And I will be helping on Anna's stall as well. And like, I haven't ever met Anna in person. Like, I have been in the same room as her because she was at UKPA, but I was too shy to say hi, and she like has a go at me for that now. But like, she is somebody I speak to constantly, all the time, every day, and just to like be in the same room as people like her, and like people that are my friends, it would just be amazing. I would love to go to more events. Like, Anna and I have talked about maybe going to some other ones when they eventually happen, even not just ones in the UK, and I would love to do that. I am very socially anxious, and in big situations like that I go very quiet, but right now I'd go anywhere. So yeah. Then the lovely Shen at the Functional Planner Co asked what got you into planning. So I did do a whole video Q&A thing. If I remember to link it, I probably won't. So why am I even pretending to myself like I'm going to? But if you just head to my playlist, you'll find it. But basically, I was away with my mum for probably a singing exam, and we were in a Travelodge. What would I give for a Travelodge right now? And I was just scrolling the internet, and a BuzzFeed article came up with a planner from Katharina Amore on it, and I fell in love with it. I was obsessed. I couldn't concentrate on anything else. How did I do this exam? And as soon as we got back home, I made my mum take me to Staples so that I could buy whatever planner they have. I knew nothing about planning then. I bought an ARC disc bound, and I'm so not a disc bound person now, but I bought a disc bound because I honestly didn't know anything. I was then bought printables and inserts and stuff like that, and that was the spiral. Then the lovely Natalie Ra Plans asked, what's your favourite musical? Thank you for this question. I know that Natalie likes musicals as well. My favourite musical is West Side Story. So I have been in West Side Story 4 or 5 times. And I think the reason it's my favourite is because when I was at sixth form, we did it there, and it was just the most amazing experience. Like, we did it not kind of looking at the stage. We did it I think it's called in Promenade. Would you believe my degree's in this? Where the audience was sat at either long end, and we acted on the floor. No, the audience were here. The audience were here, we acted on the floor. We used the stage for part of our set. We had like scaffolding on this side, but yeah, the audience was sat like this way. And it was just a great experience with my friends. I played Anita, so also, I got to play like an amazing role, and that was awesome. And it was like, they wouldn't let us like mix with the jets at rehearsal. So yeah, that was awesome. And I have done it a few times since then. If it's on anywhere, I love to go see it. Yeah, so that's definitely my favorite. Other musicals I'm really that I love. So we did Les Mis, the school's version. I was Fantine in that, and that was an amazing experience. But I just wouldn't say it's my favourite musical. I mean, I probably know every word, but it doesn't beat West Side Story for me. I also love In the Heights, which is by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who did Hamilton. Hamilton is probably creeping up there. I love to watch it on Disney Plus, but I prefer In the Heights. It's just, the music is amazing, and it's just a really cool story, and I'm really excited for when the movie eventually comes out. I have some other favourites as well. I could do a whole video on this if people were interested. I don't know if anyone cares. I could do like my top 10 musicals or something. But yeah, the West Side Story is my number one. And then my last question is from one of my besties, Elliot, who asked, what inspires you? You is what I told him I would make the answer is, and it definitely is part of the answer. I find all of my friends so inspiring. The amount of stuff that they get done and do, and just who they are as people, I love. Planner people in particular who inspire me, like Anna inspires me all the time with the amount of stuff that she does. People like Tilly and Natalie who work so hard to do YouTube and in Tilly's case, run a shop and be a doctor. And, you know, Tilly is like, she needs to slow down, but she is a huge inspiration to me. And just anyone who is kind and promotes that, you know, like people like Natalie and a lot of my friends like Beth and Sophie and Zara and everyone, like they, you know, they really like stand up for what they believe in and they try and keep that voice out there. And I think that that is just so valuable in the time that we live in. And, you know, I was like having a conversation with one of the Planner girls, Julia, yesterday about how we felt about some stuff that people had put on the internet, and just to have somebody else there who felt the same as me, that was amazing. And so many people actually contacted me after that. And yeah, so all my friends, there's in-person friends and Planner friends. My family are a huge inspiration. My mum is a huge inspiration to me. Our family has gone through a rough time in the last few years, and it's kind of amazing for how she's come through that and the stuff that we've gone through as a family and stuff. You know, I'm very proud to be their daughter and their family member. And Stuart is a huge inspiration to me as well. He works damn hard. You know, he's still working at like 20 to 6 on a Friday while I am filming a video. He is definitely a huge inspiration to me and just somebody who kind of keeps me grounded. But yeah, it's all my family, it's all my friends. You are my main people. In terms of kind of other people in the community, people like Cindy and Laken and Julie, and people that those kind of people in the community. But Cindy in particular right now for me is someone who is like such a supportive voice for like LGBTQ plus and all the stuff that she talks about and her openness. And yeah, if you were to ask me right now who in the Planner community that was for me, it would be her. But to be honest, I'm inspired by loads of people. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's got dark while I was filming, but thank you so much for watching. As always, I am so grateful for you guys. I hope that this video, the first part, helped you in some way to deal with what is going on in the world right now. But just know that you are not alone, and we have to stick together. Be kind, but stick together. So if you did enjoy this video, I would really appreciate a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. That would be great. I would love to have you over here on the channel, and please do comment as well down below if you what you want to see on Instagram, if you want to see anything with a bullet journal, but also, you know, if you just want to chat to people, go down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.